Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got quite a few things to go over. Some Legends EA bits of information have popped up. We also have some new rumors going over regarding a Generation 10 game and some Nintendo Switch 2 updates as well. There's a lot of things to break down today. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below. It's trying to hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, we finally can see Legends EA in the wild. We have this post here from Soul Silver Art, quote retweeting this post from Soul Silver Art, but basically this image popped up, and as we can see, it's a pop-up store, and we can see Legends EA in the background, and I think this just says releasing in 2025 or something like that, but we can finally see it away from that trailer. But anyway, we've got Soul Silver Art saying people getting wild over these two images, and why not? We are entering hype season. But the Paris pop-up store is probably just gonna have the current Legends EA trailer on a loop until we get the new one on Pokémon Day. As for Horizon's news on Pokémon Day, that is more rare, but once we learned the episode titles, it seems the stars have aligned for Horizon's ZA tie-in. They could just go in on this Pokémon Day Presents, and they could just drop ZA for the anime, ZA trailer for the games obviously, and they could reveal Mega Zygarde in the anime just like they did with Pokemon like just Lycanroc and stuff like that, or they could reveal it in the Legends EA trailer and then also reveal it in the anime during the Pokemon Day Presents, because we know that they were talking about Mega Zygarde in the anime from the Terror League. So whether they've kind of gone back on that or not is yet to be seen, but we do know it is going to tie in with the anime from what they've said. So if they don't change that, then we are going to see this new Mega Evolution legendary Pokemon in the anime, and probably the game as well. It then goes on to say, that's not confirmed, by the way. They could just show off the new arc that will be coming after the end of this main arc that has been going on since the beginning of Horizons. Or it could just be nothing. There wasn't a star on the 27th of last year's version of this calendar, but they could have decided to add it this time around just because it's Pokemon Day. So yeah, as you can see on this image, we have the stars on the day that they usually come out, because the episodes come out on the Fridays, but then obviously on the Thursday this year is Pokemon Day, and they also have a star or something on that day. So clearly it is because of Pokemon Day, but whether that is going to align with Pokemon Horizons or not, I'm pretty sure we did get some Horizon stuff in a previous Pokemon Presents anyway. And remember, Pokemon Presents isn't just the games, it's everything. They've dropped like TCG stuff during Pokemon Day Presents. They've dropped everything. And the anime is no stranger to that. So I think they are probably going to drop something Horizons related, just simply because they have sort of hinted at it. But then the pop-up store as well is also, it's just exciting to see it in the wild and not just on like the end of a trailer or whatever. But anyway, that's the Pokemon Legends EA stuff that I wanted to go over. Moving on, we have some more hints regarding, I guess, more Switch 2 game releases. There's been a lot that have been popping up lately. We're going to take a look at these hints, and again, none of this is confirmed, but at the end of the day, it is just kind of more hints towards more Switch 2 stuff. So, it's from Go Nintendo tweet here saying, Vampire Survivors, Mouse PI, and other indie devs tease Nintendo Switch 2 releases. So let the software onslaught begin. So, the Nintendo Switch 2 is official, with Nintendo finally putting an end to the speculation. Now we know the base details of Nintendo's next-gen hardware, and indie developers are already teasing fans about upcoming support. So one dev hot out of the gate was, I don't know how to pronounce this, Ponsel, the creator of Vampire Survivors. They shared a message about the Nintendo Switch 2 that read, that new console looks pretty cool, which is this image here. And then they go on to say, which certainly seems like a tease of things to come. With Vampire Survivors already on the Nintendo Switch, you'd have to imagine a Switch 2 port is a real possibility. I mean, we know there's going to be backwards compatibility anyway, but there's also a lot of strong rumors regarding enhanced versions for a lot of old games, and I feel like if it was just going to be there through backwards compatibility, they wouldn't have made this sort of announcement. But anyway, after that, we have Fumi Games, who gave up hope for Mouse PI for hire on the Switch 2 by simply saying, or gave hope, should I say, for Mouse PI for hire on the Switch 2 by simply saying Mouse PI for hire on Nintendo Switch 2. Anyone? This is yet another game that's pegged for the Switch, so a jump to the Switch 2 seems like a pretty safe bet. And then after that, comes less of a tease and more of a confirmation from the developer behind Lucid, who said Lucid is going to look amazing on the hashtag Switch 2. You can't really get any more cut and dry than that. And then finally, we have a similar message from Ruffy and the Riverside, which you can check out in the post below, that said this bear runs on all Switches. Soon you can play Ruffy and the Riverside on Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2. So basically, Lucid confirming for the Switch 2, and then also Ruffy is also confirmed as well, because they've literally come out and said it. And I think that this is going to happen continuously up to the Nintendo Direct in April. I think all these third-party developers and indie developers are just going to start announcing things for the Switch 2. All this happened in less than 24 hours after the reveal of the Switch 2, and there's no doubt it's the tip of the iceberg. We'll keep our eyes peeled for more Nintendo Switch 2 game teasers and reveals, and we'll be sure to bring them all to you. So yeah, I mean, it's likely we're just going to keep getting these throughout the next couple of months. We're in February now. March, I could see them reveal quite a few in March, and then up to the build-up to the Nintendo Direct in April. It's going to be exciting times. I mean, we're in the thick of it now. We're literally in the middle of the kind of waiting for that big sort of Nintendo Direct, but we know the console's here, so we're just a matter of time away from seeing all this new stuff. But anyway, I wanted to quickly go over that. Let me know your thoughts on it. I don't really play any of these games, but some of you guys might, so this is obviously quite exciting to some of you. And then also, let me know your thoughts on the Legends ZA and the Pokemon Horizons thing as well, because yeah, the fact that they starred Pokemon Day, it could just simply be a coincidence because it is Pokemon Day, or it could be because they're revealing something. Anyway, that's all that. Finishing things off for today's video, we have a new Generation 10 rumor to take a look at, which was posted on 4chan on the 8th of January. It's just titled 2026, posted by Anonymous. Now, of course, because it is on 4chan, take it with a massive grain of salt, probably fake. Generation 10 information is probably out there somewhere. We know the Terra Leak has information on the Gen 10 games. They're not going to reveal it, or they're not going to release it. They've said that. Same with Legends ZA. Same with Scarlet and Violet as well. Apparently there's some things about Scarlet and Violet that they've chosen not to release because it's stuff that we haven't seen yet. So maybe they're not done with Scarlet and Violet yet. Maybe there's going to be another little summon that could get revealed on Pokemon Day. You just don't know. Although I think the Petrun event got revealed in like January last year. I think it was before Pokemon Day, but I don't think they're going to do that again. But either way, if there is something else for Scarlet and Violet, then you'd like to think it will get announced, yeah, this month on Pokemon Day. But anyway, we're going off topic. Let's take a look at what this rumor says. So it says Generation 10. So it's basically called Pokemon Kota, which is frozen in English, and Pokemon Netsu, which is heat in English. So Pokemon Frozen and Pokemon Heat. Not the greatest names in my opinion, because Pokemon Frozen, Pokemon Heat, they just don't really bounce off each other. You know, like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, they just bounce off each other. Like Pokemon Frozen and Heat, Heat and Frozen, it just doesn't really click. You know, like Pokemon Wind and Wave does click, and that's what a lot of people think these games are going to be called. I think they're perfect names for Generation 10. Pokemon Frozen and Heat just doesn't really hit. Anyway, it says the region is based in Italy, with the islands of Sicily, Sardinia, and also, I mean, Italy's a solid place for it to be revealed on, and we do know that it's going to be an archipelago of islands. I just think Greece fits that bill a little bit better than Italy, and I think with all the Greek gods and everything, I think that there's going to be so much more inspiration for really cool Pokemon. I would love an Italian region one day. I just think Greece, with what we know about Gen 10, even though it's very, very minuscule information, I just think that makes a little bit more sense. But if they do go with Italy, like nothing's confirmed yet, they could easily go with Italy, they could go with Germany. I think they will do a European country for the region. We've had quite a few of them lately. Obviously, we've just had the Portugal and Spain. We've had Kalos in the past. We're getting Kalos this year as well with Legends ZA. We've had Galar. We haven't really had anything apart from Europe, apart from like a Alola, which was Generation 7. So the next 3 generations after that, which is obviously Gen 8, Gen 9, and Gen 10, could all be European based. But that's just because there's so many really unique countries in Europe and stuff. And yeah, I would really like to see a Greek region. I mean, I'd also love to see like Australia, stuff like that. But I just think that Greece I think it's winning the race at the moment. And then it goes on to say the starter Pokemon are a Grass Wolf, a Fire Ibex, and also a Water Platypus. Now, since we saw that Temtem fake art of the Water Platypus, I've always wanted it. I think that might have been a rumor for like Gen 7 or something. It was that water platypus that they ended up putting in Temtem, which just looks so good. And I, since then, always wanted a water platypus. I feel like it makes sense not to make it a starter though, because the male can be water poison, because obviously a male platypus secretes poison and the female doesn't. So the male can be water poison and then the female can just be pure water, which you can't really do with starter Pokemon. But yeah, Grass Wolf sounds really cool. I mean, those do look like really good options as starters, and I'd be very happy with them 100%. And then it says the frozen legendary Pokemon is a Ice Ghost Owl. And then the Heat legendary is a Fire Ghost Phoenix. They do sound really cool. I mean, for me, I'm always going to be picking a Phoenix over an Owl. I just am. Unless the Owl is like really well done. I guess we already have a Phoenix in a way of Ho-Oh though, so I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like a Phoenix, so I don't think they'd really do that again. And we already have a Fire, and Ho-Oh is already Fire as well. So for me, it wouldn't really make sense for it to be a Phoenix. Maybe like a Pegasus or something would fit the bill a little bit better. But yeah, an Ice Ghost Owl and then a Fire Ghost Phoenix. The gimmick is Fusion. I've been saying it's going to be Fusion for a while. I honestly do think it's going to be Fusion. And I'm not saying that every Pokemon's going to fuse with every Pokemon. I just don't think that's going to be the case. But it's going to be a select few, like 15 Pokemon can fuse or something like that. We've had a lot of fusion sort of kind of hints in recent games. We had the kind of Paradox. We had the Paradox Swords of Justice, the Paradox Legendary Beasts as well. They were fused in the Scarlet and Violet book. We had Calyrex in Generation 8 fusing with Spectria and Glacier. We also had, I guess we've had Unova as well with those fusions, but we've just had loads of different kind of variations of fusion throughout the years, and I think a gimmick regarding that would be really cool. Then go on to say Team Rocket, so I assume this would be based around the events of Kanto and Johto and in that same timeline. But Team Rocket returning, I'd be very happy with that. Team Rocket are my favorite, not my favorite evil team, but it'd be a team that's trying to do something evil. You know, all we've had recently are just kids falling out at school and all that. It's just not been really, it's just not been given that evil team vibe. Whereas Team Rocket, you know, are going to be up to no good and we actually have to stop them. This says there's going to be a normal horse is the rider for all the region with also flying and a water form. So we're going to have a horse that can fly, obviously run on land and also swim, and that's going to be the rideable Pokemon. Gives me Legend of Zelda vibes, but it's just ease of access really, having one thing that can do everything, a little bit like the legendary in Scarlet and Violet. It says Kingfisher, Cyclops, Pyroar evolution with wings, and then also a Phalanx evolution, and also there's going to be a Scorpion. So I assume these are new Pokemon and new forms, yada. So new Pyroar evolution with wings. I assume both male and female can evolve into that. Will they both look different like they do in the male and the female form, or will they look the same? Phalanx evolution, which I think would just be more of the Phalanx. And then a Scorpion Pokemon, a Cyclops Pokemon, and then a Kingfish, and then DLC is Nile as well. So yeah, you'd expect DLC for this game regardless, because I think just for the foreseeable future, we're always just going to get DLC for the main generation games now, because it gives us more content for the Pokemon game, but then it also kind of doesn't give the team a year off because they're still having to develop it, but it's not the same as having to produce another game every single year. Like, DLC is just 2 small mini stories with a couple of new Pokemon. It's very easy for them to do, and it gives them an extra year really to work on a Pokemon game. So yeah, I mean, I definitely expect that to happen, but for me, I don't really believe it. I don't really want an Italian region. I'd much rather have a Greek region or Australia or something like that. Not that Italy won't be a good region. It would be a really good region. I just think for right now, Greece with like the open world archipelago, I just have that like Wind Waker vibe in my head, which would be really cool to see. But either way, let me know your thoughts on this Gen 10 rumor. I'm calling it fake, but either way, let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts, like I say, on the anime stuff and the Legends EA stuff, and then also the Nintendo Switch 2 games as well, potentially coming to the next console. But that's everything from me. If you enjoyed, like I say, drop a like. Let's try and hit 500. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.